Okay, action. Hey 3S yogis, welcome to the coolest YouTube channel ever, 3S Yoga. If you enjoyed this video or other videos, please subscribe or tell all your friends to then subscribe and take these videos. If you're in Richmond also or are traveling through Richmond, make sure to stop at 3S Yoga to take a class in person. But yeah, so we're going to work on some hips and some legs today. A little bit of a faster flow. We're going to start seated, so whenever you're ready, get into something comfortable as always. If you're at home, you can also wear nothing. No one's watching you. But we're just going to start seated, so come into a cross-legged position just to start, or again, whatever feels better. The typical like Sukhasana pose is you want to try to make like a square. So you want to draw your knees as close together as you can so your ankles are underneath your knees. Flex your toes and just allow yourself to settle into your body. You can have your hands onto your thighs, either palms facing up, which kind of is a sensation of letting things in, or palms facing down, that sensation of letting things go, maybe feeling the warmth of your body. And then just allow your eyes to close. Maybe just take a moment to kind of notice how you're sitting. Maybe you're leaning forward or maybe you're leaning back. Kind of finding that position that feels really good. Maybe drawing your shoulders back slightly so your shoulder blades are together slightly. Drawing your crown up to the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. Notice if your legs are squeezed in, maybe even in the toes. Allow it to relax. Notice if your belly's squeezed in. I always find that I squeeze or hold my belly in, so kind of check in with that. Allow it to unsqueeze and let go. And then just pause here for yourself in silence and in stillness. And just kind of noticing where your mind is going to in this moment. Kind of noticing if anything's kind of consuming your mind. Maybe allow anything to let go there. Really focusing on this present moment. And then just start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe take some deep inhales, some deep exhales, being kind to yourself in this moment. And then just take a moment to check in with your hips, your legs, kind of noticing if you feel any tension around the glutes, maybe the IT band, your inner hips, your outer hips, kind of checking in. And then just take a moment to take a deep inhale, rise your arms, lengthen your spine, just take a deep stretch, fill your body with air. And then exhale, let it go, let the arms fall down by your side, just kind of creating some energy. Inhale, rise your arms. And then exhale, let it go, relax your hips as you melt down. Nice, one more time, inhale. And then exhale, again, unsqueeze your legs, let go. Bring your hands back behind you. Uncross your legs, so your knees are up towards the ceiling, feet are planted. Just take a moment to windshield wash your knees side to side. So as you're doing this, kind of be aware, kind of check in with your hips still, kind of noticing if one side's carrying more tension than the other side. Maybe even kind of take a moment to kind of open the inner hips, notice if there's any tension there. And then whenever you feel nice and juicy in your hips, plant your feet down, knees up toward the ceiling. Take an inhale. On your exhale, rise your hips up. Try to get them in line with your knees. Reverse tabletop. Make sure your fingers are facing your toes. Head can draw all the way back if that feels good. Really pressing away from the ground. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale. Draw your hips all the way back down. Your bottom touches the ground. And we're just going to come to a little stretch here, a little fire log pose. So we're going to make sure our shins are parallel to the front of the mat or wherever you are. So let's start with the right leg into the ground first and then plant the left leg on top of the right leg. So again, kind of same thing here. You want to try to draw your knees together. So your left ankle is on top of your right knee. If you have dogs at home, you'll understand this pain right now. So kind of noticing if you feel any tension. If you have a block at home, you can place your left foot on top of a block out in front of you, or you can just put your foot onto the ground if you feel super tense or tight into your left hip. But kind of playing with it, noticing. And then just take a deep inhale, rise your arms, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, bring your fingertips down, draw your heart forward, so you're just leaning into the front body, into your knees. And kind of noticing if you feel any tension around that left hip, the left glute. You can pause here if it feels too intense. You can kind of lean back so you can feel less of that stretch. Or you can start to walk your fingers forward if you want more of a deeper, juicier stretching. You can draw your heart down. Again, if you have any blocks or a book or anything, you can draw your head on that or just draw your chin to your chest. Kind of noticing if you're squeezing into your legs here or your belly or your glutes. Sometimes we create like a fight or flight fear sensation with our body, so try to unsqueeze. I'm just taking a couple of breaths here. Kind of letting your body do the work. Nice, take one last inhale. And then on your exhale, walk the hands back, lift your heart. Slowly take this leg, bring it back to the ground, and then uncross legs so both feet are planted, knees up towards the ceiling, hands back behind you, same thing, windshield wash your knees. You want to go kind of more into a deeper twist, you can kind of twist your spine as well, or just little micro windshield washes, like it's only raining 5%. Nice, so when you're ready, plant your feet into the ground, knees up towards the ceiling, press into your hands, same thing, reverse table. So take an inhale, exhale, open the front body. Again, challenging your hips to get in line with your knees, shoulders in line with your hips and your knees. You got it, take a deep inhale, and then exhale, lower. So opposite legs here. We're gonna try to bring that left shin parallel to the front of your mat, flex your foot. And then that right shin comes on top, challenging yourself to try to get your right foot on top of that left knee. The right knee stacked above your left foot. It's kind of like fire logs. And again, if you want to do those other adjustments with the foot on the ground or the block, you can do that as well. And then just take that deep inhale. Exhale, bring your fingertips down. Same thing, heart forward, noticing any sensations in the right hip or the glute. And then kind of working with your body. You can walk your fingers forward, lower your heart down, chin draws to your chest, or you can always use anything if you need to. Just take some deep inhales here, some deep exhales, unsqueezing your hips, your glutes, letting things go. Kind of using your breath as a tool to kind of guide your breath to any areas of tension. And take one last inhale. On your exhale, walk the hands back, lift your heart. Maybe rise the arms, open your front body, and then let it go. Bring your hands down. Carefully take this right leg, plant it to the ground. And then one last time, windshield wash the knees side to side. Just really finding what feels good. And then whenever you're ready, come to a cross-legged position. Take an inhale. On your exhale, roll forward, coming to tabletop. So kind of just scooting, situating yourself so your shoulders are above your wrists, knees below your hips. And just take a moment to kind of windshield wash your hips side to side. Shake anything out. Noticing if you still feel any tension there, you can do some rolls or just kind of moving with what your body is telling you to do. Nice. And whenever you feel good, come back to table. We're going to take our right knee and stick it out towards the side, kind of like a dog peeing at a fire hydrant. So kind of notice if you have a lot of tension in that kind of hip socket there. So you can either bring your knee out to a 90-degree angle or just like a 45-degree angle. or like a 17-degree angle. But wherever your angle is, just take a moment to kind of open your hips. So just kind of draw circles one way and then the other way, just kind of taking your time. You can create big circles, kicking the leg all the way back and drawing it back into your chest. Or you can just make tiny micro little circles. Just kind of noticing, checking in with your glutes, all the muscles around your hip, even your joint. And then rotate towards the other direction. Moving for you. Whenever you're ready, bring that right knee back out towards the side like a dog. And then we're going to extend the left arm out towards the left side. So engaging your core here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, we're going to crunch in. So draw your knee to your elbow. Press away from this right palm. So you're rounding your spine. And then inhale, extend out towards the side. So if you want an extra challenge, you can kick that right leg out towards the side or just keep the knee bent. But we're just moving here. So on those inhales, we're extending to the side. And on the exhales, crunching in. So just doing maybe 4 more of these. Following your breath. On that last exhale, pause in your center. So we're crunching and pressing away. On the inhale this time, extend the left arm forward, right leg back. Take an inhale. On the exhale, crunch in. This time on the inhale, switching it up on coming out to the side. So that left arm out to the side, right leg out to the side. So we're switching from front to side. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, reach front and back. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, come to the sides. Nice. Just do 1 more of these. 1 more front and back. Exhale. 1 more to the side. And then exhale, bring that left hand down. Extend the right leg back behind you. You can do some rolls with that ankle. Take an inhale. On your exhale, plant your right foot in between your hands. Just coming to a low lunge. You can kind of inchworm that left leg slightly back farther behind you if that feels good, to kind of create more space for your hips. And then just take a moment here, bring your hands onto your right thigh, lift your heart, make sure your tailbone is lengthened back down to the ground, pelvis tilts back so you're not crunching in your low back. And then keep your right hand onto your hip, rise the left arm as you inhale. On your exhale, just lean over towards the right side. Make sure your hips are square here. And slowly rise all the way towards the ceiling. Reach for the sky. Take an inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands down. And then step it back to all fours. Just shake anything out side to side. And then just doing that same thing on the left side. So whenever you're ready, extend that left leg like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. So the knees bend. Again, whatever angle you want to be at. And then create those circles with that left knee. Move forward, move backward, make big circles or tiny circles. Just kind of moving for you. Again, same thing, whenever you feel nice and juicy, pause with that left leg out towards the left side, and then reach the right arm out towards the side. So take an inhale here. On your exhale, crunch in, knee comes to your elbow, round your spine, press away. And then inhales, come out towards the sides. So just move for 4 more inhales, 4 more exhales. And then on that last exhale, come into center, round your spine. On your inhale, reach front and back. So the right arm comes in front, left leg presses back. On your exhale, crunch it in. On your inhale, reach the right hand to the side, left leg to the left side. Nice. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, front and back. Exhale. Inhale to the sides. Nice. 1 more, reaching front and back. And then exhale, pause here. Bring the right hand down. Extend the left leg back. Look forward as you inhale. And then exhale, step the foot in between your hands. You can inchworm that right leg back this time. Kind of wiggle your hips. And then bring your hands onto the left thigh, press away so the knees stacked above the ankle. Try to sink your hips down while lifting your heart. Left hand comes onto your left hip, rise the right arm as you inhale. Exhale, lean over. Just get a nice side stretch in that right side body. Maybe you can even feel it in your hip flexor on the right hip. Take a deep inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, plant the hands down. Step it back to all fours. And just wiggle side to side. Nice, walk the hands a little bit forward, tuck the toes. Send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Just take a moment to bend the knees, shake anything out. And then you can just move the hips side to side. Noticing anything along the IT band down the right leg or the left leg. On your next inhale, lift the heels. Come onto your tippy toes, look forward. As you exhale, just tippy toe all the way to the front of the back, coming to a forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here, noticing how your hamstrings are feeling. Grab your elbows, draw your crown of your head down towards the ground. Just pause. On your next inhale, just slowly roll all the way up to standing. Reach for the sky. And then exhale, hands down to your heart. Nice. Inhale, rise your arms. Exhale, hinge your hips, melting all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, just step it back to plank, holding here for a moment. You can kind of rock back and forth. Or just pause, press away from the ground. Belly draws into the back body to support your spine. We're going to take an inhale here. On your exhale, accordion plank. So the knees draw over to the right side, kind of in the right corner of your mat. Your bum draws to your heels. Nice, slowly coming back to center. On your exhale, accordion plank to the left side. So the knees point towards the left. Your bum points all the way down to the right. And then slowly come back to center, then press it all the way back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, rise the right leg. You can bend your right knee, draw your right heel to your left glute. And notice any sensations. Same thing as we did earlier. If your joint feels a little bit tight still, you can kind of make those circles with the right leg, the right knee, forward, backwards. And whenever you're ready, extend the right leg, take an inhale. On your exhale, plant the foot in between your hands. You're coming into just a high lunge, rise your arms. Opening up here, sinking your hips down and deep. Nice, take an inhale. On your exhale, come out to warrior two, so the back toes turn 90 degrees to the back of the mat. Arms come out to a T. And just pause here, sink the hips down and deep, trying to get the right thigh parallel to the ground, knees above your ankle. On your inhale, rise your arms, straighten that front leg. On your exhale, sink it back down. So just doing this 3 more times. Inhale, rise. Exhale, melt it down. Nice, 1 more time. And then exhale, just sink it down, really allowing your hips to sink down and deep, noticing any sensations. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale, cart with the hands down to square your foot. Step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Bend anything that feels good. And then doing that same thing, extending that left leg up into the air, 3-legged dog. You can bend the left knee so the left foot kind of reaches over to the right glute. You can stay here, make sure your shoulders are square so that left shoulder draws down. You can roll your ankle. You can draw those circles with the left knee. And then whenever you're ready, extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, step it in to that high lunge. Rise your arms, sink your hips down and deep. Take an inhale. Exhale, come out to warrior two. So that back foot is 90 degrees. Left toes turn forward. Make sure you're kind of externally rotating here so the knee kind of follows the left pinky toe, so it's opening up. On your inhale, rise your arms. On your exhale, try to deepen here, so you're sinking down and deep. Try to get your left thigh parallel to the ground. Inhale. And then exhale one more time. Exhale. Nice, just pause here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, cart the hands down. And then step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Nice, walking anything out that feels good. On your last inhale, this time bend the knees, look forward, step or hop or jump forward, fold. On your inhale, look up halfway. On your exhale, take a deep fold. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands down to your heart. Nice, take a moment. And then inhale, rise your arms. Exhale, hinge at your hips, melting all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, you can move through your vinyasa if you want to, or just step it back to plank and then press it back to down dog. So taking time if you need to. Nice, whenever you're ready on that inhale, the right leg lifts. On your exhale, step it through, so you're coming back to your high lunge. Rise your arms, take that deep inhale, sink your hips down and deep. On your exhale, bring your hands back down, kind of hop the left toes one step forward, and then send your hips back so you're straightening this front right leg. Keep a micro knee bend in your knee, or you can always bend the knee as much as you need to, or kind of playing with it, bending the knee, then straightening the leg a little bit deeper. Draw your right hip back, left hip comes forward so your hips are squared to the front of your mat. If you want more stretching behind the hamstring, you can rise your toes up towards the ceiling. Or just stay here. If you want to feel some kind of stretching around the IT band of that right leg, you can keep the left fingers where they are or on a block, and then rise the right arm up towards the ceiling. So you're twisting here. Noticing any sensations along that right leg. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, untwist and wind back to center. You can shake your hips, shake your shoulders. Take one last inhale here on your exhale. Start to bend the right knee so the right foot is totally planted all four corners. And then we're going to lift the left leg just to an L shape here. So maybe walk the fingers closer towards the right toes. You can have your hands on a block. Try to draw your left hip down, right hip lifts. So you're still kind of feeling any sensation around your IT band or your glute. Nice, you can stay here or maybe come to warrior three, lift your heart. Hands can come wherever you want them to be, at your heart or back behind you. Breathing here. Nice, we're gonna add a little twist here so you can keep your left fingers into the ground or maybe on your ankle or on a block. And then bring the right hand out to a T, flex the back toes. Take an inhale. On your exhale, slowly twist all the way up to the right side. So rise the right arm and kind of lead or follow your heart, your head, while your right hand rises. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, untwist and wind. Nice, letting anything go. On your inhale, we're going to lift our heart. Draw the left knee into your chest. Take a deep inhale, squeeze the left knee in. On your exhale, bring the left ankle on top of the right knee. So it's not on the knee, but on the right thigh. And just kind of creating a four shape with the legs. Draw that left knee down. We're going to sit down almost like in a chair pose. Lift your heart. Noticing any sensations around the left hip. And then take a deep inhale, rise, squeeze the left knee into your chest. On your exhale, we're going to step it back to warrior three. And then start to bend that right knee, draw the left toes down, grab the ground, step it back to a plank. You can move through your vinyasa if you want to, or just step it back to down dog. Take a moment to kind of shake your hips if that feels good. Bend your knees. Take a sigh out, and then moving through, inhale, the left leg lifts. And then exhale, step it through, coming into that high lunge. Rise your arms. And then exhale, bring the fingers down. Hop the right toes one step forward and then send your hips back. So the right hip draws forward this time, left hip pulls back so your hip bones are square. So same kind of things here. You can play with it, bend the knees, straighten the leg. You can rise the left toes. Or just noticing the hamstring stretching. Breathing through. And if you want the IT band stretch, you can keep the right fingers where they are. Lift the left arm. Maybe look up towards your thumb. And then exhale, untwist, unwind back to center. Take a one last inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee so all four corners of that foot is planted. You feel it strong. And then lift the right leg. So you're coming into that L shape. Right hip draws down, left hip lifts. You can come into that warrior three, lift your heart, or kind of play with it, grabbing your ankle. You can go deeper into a standing split, or just finding what feels good. And then whenever you're ready, coming into that twist, so you're keeping your right fingers into the ground or on a block. Left arm comes out towards the side like a half T. Take an inhale. On your exhale, start to twist over to the left side so that left arm lifts. Try to keep the wrist in line with your shoulder. And start to look over towards the left side. Maybe you can look up towards your left thumb. Opening the heart here. Noticing any sensations around your IT band, your left leg, your left hip. Take one last inhale. And whenever you're ready, start to exhale and twist, unwind. Noticing any sensations. On your next inhale, plant that left foot down, rise the right knee into your chest. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, bring the ankle on top of that left thigh. Lift your heart. As you exhale, you bend that left knee, sink it down and deep. Noticing any sensations around that right glute and the hip. And then slowly start to inhale. Draw that right knee into your chest. On your exhale, kick it back, warrior three. And then start to bend the left knee, draw the right toes down. Step it back to your plank and then down dog. Take a moment to just breathe, shake out your hips, shake out anything you need to. Take one last inhale. On your exhale, draw your knees down, big toes together. Sit back, child's pose. You can take a moment here to kind of shake your hips side to side, roll your wrists, roll your forehead on the mat. And take one last inhale. On your exhale, roll forward. Come all the way onto your bottom, just to sit. Come into a cross-leg position, whatever feels better how you started. Or you can even have your legs out in front of you if you're tired of hips. And then we're just going to pause here. Take a deep inhale, rise your arms. On your exhale, let the hands fall either to the side or on your thighs. Unsqueeze your legs, your hips. Lift your heart. Allow your eyes to close. And just pause here for you in stillness and in silence. And you can stay here as long as you would like, or start to wiggle your fingers, rolling your shoulders, maybe do a little twist side to side, or just finding what feels good for your body. Whenever you're ready, take one last inhale, rise your arms, open your heart. On your exhale, bring your hands down to your heart and just thank yourself for showing up. Your hips thank you. And have a happy day, and remember to subscribe or come to 3S Yoga. Namaste.